Hello!
A Right Royale Tea is an immersive, royal, comedy afternoon tea experience where the diners can be part of the performance.
I think it's a very typical English farce, very fast-paced. It's characters running all over the place, trying to save something that's on its knees and trying to keep the conceit, trying to prevent the audience from really getting to grips with what is actually going on. It's a complete story of pretense, if you like.
The idea for A Right Royale Tea came from my experience in the London tourism market, and I felt there was a gap in the market for an immersive comedy dining experience that revolved around the royal family or a fictitious royal family, and also afternoon tea. This year there is so much royal stuff happening. We've had the baby Archie came along, and The Favourite won an Oscar. The Downton Abbey movie comes out later on this year, and The Crown, the next series with Olivia Colman, comes out. So I think there's always a royal connection to be had, and I think a farcical comedy afternoon tea experience just fits really nicely in that market.
It's about a very upper class couple, Lord and Lady Wright, who are living in a huge stately home somewhere in the middle of this country that is falling apart. They have no money to put it back together again. And so they have a very trusty lawyer who tells them, advises them, and says, listen, the only way you're going to probably save this building is if you invite guests into this world and let them see what it's all about. The paintings on the walls, the way you live, all the ornaments and all the lights and everything you've got in here. Despite it being in a very tattered state, they might be interested in coming into this world and seeing about you and your legacy and your life beforehand and your ancestors, because it's interesting and it's part of the history. It's part of the history of your family and it's part of the history of England. I think the metaphor for this particular story is it's very relevant to now, and it's very resonant to where we are at this point in the history of England. With everything that's going on politically and socially, it feels as like we're a little bit in tatters too, and we need some help. And by possibly inviting others into this world, they might be ultimately able to help us. The whole thing is that they're trying desperately to keep something alive, when in fact they don't really have a chance. But in that classic English-like way, at the very end of it all, by some pure fluke, it works out just.
Tickets! Oh yes, and don't forget to book your tickets, because the places are limited. There's a good fellow.